Hello and welcome back to Cracking the Cryptic. And as I thought, I think we're going to make it through to Christmas with my puzzles always being Christmas themed. And this one has come in from Joseph Nechmer from Lebanon, who's quickly become one of my favorite setters. And yesterday we had the Christmas trees outside. Today the tree has come inside, and here it is. Now, I'll come to the rules in a moment. I will just mention our Patreon content where there's, our Patreon channel where there's extra content. Do have a look at that. There's a link under the video in the description field. Tracking the Cryptid, still incredibly popular, still getting answers in. And my quite easy puzzle from the day before, an XV arrow that I created. Now, what's going on here then? Well, the colours don't matter. There's a start. The colours are just for decoration and to show us the top of the Christmas tree. However, there are cages which don't have totals like a normal killer, but they do have dots which look like Kropki dots, and they act like Kropki dots, but not on the individual cells. So recently when I did an XV, which was based on the cells, which was based on cage totals, there were one or two people who couldn't get that it wasn't based on the cells. So this dot, for instance, means that this cage has a total that is 1 different from this cage. That's what a white dot means. It's a difference of 1 between the cage totals. The black dot means a ratio of 2 to 1 between the cage totals. So this cage is either double or half this cage. Where there is no black or white dot between cages, like here, a negative constraint applies. So this cage cannot be 1 different or half or double this cage, which is quite unusual. Certainly when we were doing that XV cage puzzle, there wasn't a negative constraint, but there is here. So there's also, and I'm going to forget this, you know I am, a knight's move constraint in this puzzle. The grey cell, the grey square is an even number. And that's it. Like, again, look at the vast swathes of white space. No given digits in the grid, and yet apparently this puzzle solves uniquely. I mean, it's an incredible feat by Joseph in my view. I love the look of the puzzle. Even the white and black dots look like decorations on the tree, and this is either a star or an angel on top, according to taste. Lovely idea, brilliant execution, whether it's hard or easy. I love the look of it. Do have a go on the link below the video. Let's do justice to this creation. So I'm just going to reiterate the rules again. The grey cell is even. The colours don't matter. The cell totals are divided by Kropki dots in certain places, which means that a black dot means a ratio of 1 to 2 between 2 cage totals, and the white dots mean a difference of 1 between 2 cage totals. If I've said cell totals before, and I might have done, that was a slip of the tongue, I'm talking about cage totals. And there's a knight's move constraint. I nearly forgot it already. I will forget it in a moment because we don't have any digits in the grid yet, and it can't apply till we have some. So anyway, enough of my failings. Let's see them in action instead, and let's get cracking. And how do we do that here? How do we find... okay, yeah. Look, box 8 is completely full of 3 cages. What's more, they're joined by 2 white dots. Now, in theory, this could go up and back down. So rather than there being a sequence of x, x plus 1, x plus 2, you might have x, x plus 1 or minus 1, x. But that can't happen. You can't have 2 of the same total because, as you know by now, the sum of the digits from 1 to 9 is 45. If there are 3 cages in that box, 45 is divisible by 3. So if you had 2 that were x and an x plus 1 or an x minus 1, that would give you a total that was not divisible by 3. Whereas x, x plus 1, x plus 2 is 3x plus 3, which is clearly divisible as x plus 1 by 3. So this is a sequence of cages. This one must be in the middle. Therefore, it's the average and is a third of 45. That cage must be 15. I tell you what I'm going to sneakily do is write 1-5 pencil mark, because I can get away with that for a few of these numberings. Now this one is either 14 or 16, and this one is either 14 or 16, and 14, 15 and 16 add up to 45. So that's working. Now this cage is 15. This one is either 14 or 16, and this one is clearly not double that. 28 or 32 is ridiculous in a 2-cell cage. So it is 7 or 8. Now if it's 7, that's the absolute minimum. This one would have to be 8. What do I mean by the absolute minimum? Well, if you add 7 and 8, you get 15. These cells would have to be occupied by 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This 14 cage would have to be 6, 8. That is possible. Then you'd have 7 and 9 up here. Okay, so this is 14 or 16, and I don't know which. This is 14 or 16, and I don't know which, and so is this. This connects to both that and that. Oh, and this connects to a run of 3. Well, they could go back up. So if this was 16, I think we'd have some trouble here. If this then, the least it could be is 15. If that was 14 and that was 13, that would be the least they could be if this one was 16. 15, 14 and 13. They add up to 42, and you're saying, well, okay, that's possible. You can put a 2 and 1 in there. But this cage with a 2 or 1 in there has got to be 1 away from 14 or 16, making the minimum value of this cell 12, which is patently absurd. So this is not 16, this is the 14 cage. This is the 16 cage to make up the 45 total. This could still be 17 or 15, as could this. This, therefore, is either 14, 16 or 18. This must be half of that, because 28 is too many for a 3-cell cage. So this one is 7, 8 or 9. Yes, I said 14, 16 or 18. So this is the cage total I'm trying to corner mark here. I'm doing it in a cheeky way. Now it's not in the top of the grid. That 9's looking a bit silly. But there we go. Now that's not a cage. Let's not do that. Just reminding myself about the knight's move, because I had forgotten that while thinking about this. Now 14 there. Can this be 15? I think we have the same problem, because 15, 14, 13 is 42 again. 14, yes it is. And that would again leave this problem of 2 and 1. 2 or 1 is not enough for this cage. So this must come down. That's 13. Again, this can't go up because that would be 14. This could be 13 again then. Okay, hang on. 13, 26, 40. Could this be a 4? No, that's still not enough for 15. So this is not 14. This is 12. Can this one be 13 now? 26, 38. Then you could have a 6 here and just get the job done. So I don't know whether this is 13 or 14. What I'm saying there is we know these two add up to 25. If this one was a 13 cage rather than an 11, the 11 would give more freedom. But if it was a 13 cage, these 3 cages would add up to 38. These cells would have to add up to 7. The most this cell could be, therefore, is 6, which is just enough to make it up to 15 with a 9 there. Although what would that do here? That would make this an 8, 5. That would make this a 3, 9. 6, 1. Yeah, this could be, hang on, 8, 5, 3, 9, 6, 1. Oh yeah, this would be 4, 2, 7, which is 13. Okay, that is possible. Now, has this acted over this side of the grid at all? I don't think anything we've done has influenced this side of the grid much, unfortunately. So this is still 16 or 14. Now, if it was 16, it would be made of 9 and 7. And this would be 8. That's all too plausible. No, it's not. If this was 16, made of 9 and 7, hang on. This couldn't be 9, 8, 17. And any total of 15 requires one of the 9 or the 7. 15 is either 9, 6 or 8, 7. So it would have to clash with this. So this is not a 15 cage. Haha, it's a 14 cage. This on the black dot is 7. This can't be 6 because 13 would be too few to fill 5 cells. So that's 8. These 5 cells are made up of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This bottom one doesn't have the 1. This 14 cage is now 6 and 8 because 5 has gone in the box. These two are 9 and 7. Now, this cage adds up to 13 or 15. But I can tell you it's not 15 for virtually the same reason we saw before. If it was 15, this cell would have to be 8 or 6 to make the number. So this is a 13. Gosh, I'm still getting away with my numbering system. Good thing I didn't have to put 11 in there. And this can't be a 6. So bang, this is a 4. We're going to get our first digit in the grid. It's a 9 to make that 13. That's a 7. This 16 has to manage itself with an 8 because it can't have 9 or 7. It can't be just 6, 5 and 4. That would only be 15. So it's got an 8 and either 5 and 3 or 6 and 2. Now, I am still desperately trying to cling on to this night restriction because I might need it. Now this, can that be 17? With 16 here, 17 would be 9 and 8, 16 could be 7, 6, 3 or 7, 4, 5. I can't rule that out yet. Okay, digits in the grid, come on. Right, okay, let's have a think about these. Now, if this was 13, we worked out these added up to 7. If this is 11, these add up to 9. And this has to be 6 to make this up to 15. In that case, that has to be 6 and 3, and that's a huge problem because this can't be made up. The 8 needs either a 6 or a 3 to make up its total 16. Haha. So, did that prove this is not 11? I think that's what I've just proved. No, I've just proved it's not... Yes, I've just proved it's not 11 because these lot would add up to 36. That would be 9. It would, because of that 8 being used there, 7 being used there, it would either have to be 6, 3 or 5, 4. You'd need a 6 in this cell, but 6 and 3 would blow this cage. Wow, I mean, that's complicated actually, but it's right. So this is not 11. I can continue getting away with my pencil marking of cage totals. 13 there. So now we have, oh no, this is what I was proving wasn't happening because that needed a 7 there. Okay, I can't get away with my cage total marking. I'm just going to have to remember this cage is an 11. Hang on, every time I add these up, I come to, oh no, it was 9 here. 6, 3 or 5, 4. Hang on, what am I proving here? Sorry, I'm getting very confused in my own head. I think what I'm proving is this can't be 7, so that can't be 13 in this cage. 13, 26, 38. 7 there. Oh, well no, I haven't proved that's wrong, have I? No, 7 there's fine. 13, 12 and 11 leaves 9 here, which can't be 8, 8, 1 or 7, 2. Again, yes, it would need a 6 here. Yes, that's what I'm proving, is that the 11 doesn't work. So this is 13. Okay, sorry, back on track. These two add up to 7. Well, that is telling me that this has to be a 6 to get to a total that's 1 away from that. That's fine. 6 there, 9 there. 44, I'm just checking again. That's a 1 now. And a 1 is all right. That's not messing this up. The 6 has taken out 6 and 2. This is an 853 cage. So we have 2 and 4 left to place in there. Now this 13 that doesn't involve 9, 4 or 6, 7 is 8, 5. This 12 that is not 8, 4 or 5, 7 now is 9, 3. And this is 2, 4, 7. I think I worked this out earlier as a possibility. Now, 5, 8, 6, 8. I don't know that I can make up these 15 and 14 cages yet. Could the 1 be in the 15 cage? That might be a relevant question. No, it actually couldn't. That's quite interesting. Because the 1 would need either 5, 9 or 8, 6 to go with it. Therefore, the 1 is in the 14 cage, but it could be with 6, 7 or 9, 4. So the 2 is in the 15 cage. Now, is any of that going to be susceptible to fixing with Knight's moves? I really don't think so at all. Right, this is 16, so this is now 17 or 15. So the cells are 6, 7, 8 or 9. This one can't be a 9, which does mean this can't be a 6 and little else. This cage is either, sorry, what am I saying? This is 6, 15 or 17. So this is 16 or 18. This is unable to be 7 anymore. 16 or 18. If this was 18 and that was 17, yes, indeed, to make this 18, that has to be 17. These must use 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Four would have to be here. I've remembered the Knight's move, operating that 4. Oh no, 4 could be there. Now, how do I progress from here then? Oh look, the 6 was removed from that by a Knight's move anyway. I wish I'd seen that. That would have looked a little bit cleverer. So this is 14 or... Oh no, it could still be 14. This can still be 15. So this, sorry, the 7 is still possible up here. Idiot. Okay, right. I need to think of some way forward. Now, if this had the 9 in it, this cage would be 2, 9 and 4. But the 9, because of that, would have to be here, because those two are only a Knight's move away. Is that any kind of a problem for anything? No, I don't think so. 2 and 4 there. I mean, they both see that cell, but it's not doing anything interesting. I mean, I'm still fascinated by the oceans of white space in this puzzle and how they're ever going to be disambiguated, but I suppose Knight's move is fairly powerful. That 2, 4 and 7 can all see this cell, which also can't be 3, 5 or 8. They're in the same box, and it can't be 9 on the Knight's move. That cell is either 1 or 6. Can it be 6? Yes, 6, 1, 7 here. fact, there is going to have to be a 7 along here. If the 7 was here, this would be 2, this would be 6. This would have to be 1 now by what we just worked out. And that doesn't work, of course. 1 is in this 8 cage here. Therefore, this can't be a 1. Sorry, I reduced it by almost to a naked single, but I could actually have gone all the way, stripped off the 1. Because 1 is in this 8 cage. It's not down here as we pencil marked. So it's in one of those 2 cells. Therefore, this isn't a 1. This is a 6. This pair, this is a 14 cage, so they involve a 7, which is good because we needed to get a 7 into the bottom row. Oh, look, I've got this 3, 9, so I could have taken out 3, 4 there. Sorry. Well, we've got there now. Let's get rid of, that's a 1, 3 pair. Right, this was all a bit easier than I was finding it. But getting there now, not an easy puzzle, I think, by any stretch of the imagination, but now it is beginning to come in. 2 and 9 here. The knight's move is very helpful. I am remembering it. I'm proud of myself. 4 there. Right. 8 can't be there or there by knight's moves. 5 can't be here. And suddenly it's all disambiguated. Right. Now we can't have a 6 here. Now we still don't know whether this adds up to 15 or 17, I don't think. What else can we disambiguate down here? Nothing as far as I can see. Okay. And this still has no problem being 14, 16 or 18. So maybe this is another case where we suddenly fill in all the hard stuff and it doesn't really help. 8. Oh no, that's not proper pencil marking. That's a cage total, not a number. 8 and 9. This can't be 8. That's vital. There we go. So that's a 7. 11, 16. This has to be an odd number. So this now has to be an 8. Can't be a 6 on the knight's move. Right. 15 there, and I still don't know whether this is 14 or 16, but I do know it's not 18, so we can get rid of the 9 in there. Now, if it was 16, it would have to have the 9 in, which would have to be here, and then it would have to have 1 and 6. It would have to go 9, 6, 1 if it was 16. What about if it was 14? Would it need the 9? It could certainly do it with the 9. No, it actually couldn't. Weirdly, it couldn't. Because if it was 14 with a 9, the 9 would have to be here because these 2 are both ruled out by that one. These 2 would either have to be 3, 2, which is ridiculous because of that 3, 2, or 4, 1, which doesn't work because of that foreseeing them both. So if it's 14, it doesn't have a 9. Highest number is a 6. It would be 6, 5, 3. That's impossible because of that 3, and we know what it is. It's 9, 6, 1, making 16. This now makes 8. Has a 1 in one of these 2 cells. I'm going to get rid of the 8. Sorry, I'm going to do what I say and get rid of the 8 marker. It's got a 1 in one of those 2 cells. This one is 4 or 5 because it can't be 2 or 3. And then over here, to make up an 8 total, we need either 1, 2 or 1, 3. Now, 9, 6, 1, 8, 7. What about this cell? Look, it can't be 4, 2 or 5. Brilliant. Naked single 3. This one can't be 5. And this one can't be 4. So 2 or 4 there. This one can't be 4. 2 or 5 here. This one can be any of them. But are any of these a problem with this negative constraint? That's 13. That's 16, so this can't add up to 8 because it would need a black dot connecting to this cage. That's beautiful. So now we've got a 2-4 pair. That makes this one a 5. Now this one's 16 as well. So this can still be 7 or 5. I can't rule that out, but that's probably the only place where that negative constraint can possibly come into play, and it did. Oh, now there's another, that one actually long ago fixed this 7-1 pair. Now this is even. That's a rule that I haven't mentioned for a long time, but I still remember it. Actually, we would have known it was even because that 5's looking at it as our 9, 1, 3 and 7. So I don't think that rule was entirely necessary, but helps with the decoration perhaps. Now, let's see if we can, still can't disambiguate these cells. Let's take out the pencil marks in the corner because they're not very useful anymore. That 1 is a proper, one of those 2 cells is a 1 pencil mark. These 2 both see this cell, so that can't be a 2 anymore. And it can't be a 3. That's very clear. So that is the 1. Let's take out the pencil mark here. Actually, that hasn't determined the makeup of the cage yet, unless I'm missing something again. I don't think I can resolve that. Right. Oh, look. Sorry. 4 down there. Regular Sudoku, often I fail to look to the bottom of the grid. Right. 2 there, 4 there. That still weirdly hasn't figured this stuff out. But I've now got a 6-7 pair here. This is 4, 5 or 8. 2, 3 and 9. Actually, that one can't be 9 because of this 9, so 9 goes up there. Now I'm still struggling to be. Look at this one. 4, 3, 1, 7, 9, 2, 5, 8. So it's a naked single 6. And we may have to find more of these. This is now seeing 2 and 8. So it's a 5. These 2 are 2 and 8, but no knight's move is sorting them out for me. What about this? 2, 6, 8 in the row, 4, 9 in the column, 5 in the box, 1 there. So it's 3 or 7. This one, 2, 6, 8, 9, 5, 1. Ooh. So it's 3, 4 or 7. 2, 6, 8, 5, 4. Oh, that's a naked single. Look at that. 2, 6, 8, 5, 4, 7, 9, and 3. So that's a 1. One of these 2 is a 1. I don't know which. 1, 5, 4. What about this now? 2, 6, 8, 1, 7, 5, 4. It's 3 or 9. Oh, that 1, of course. Yes, use that. Let's come down here. 3 and 1 fixed. The 5 has fixed the 2, 5 cage. So this does seem to be the better side to work on. This one can't be. 4, 9, 8, 6, 5, 1, 3. So that's 2 or 7. Wow, these really are some weird relations you get in these puzzles. 4, 9, 8, 6, 1, 2. That could be 3, 5 or 7. This 6, 7 pair, they both see these cells. Look, this is a weird naked single right up here. 1, 5, 4, 3, 2 in the column, 9 in the row, and it sees both of that 6, 7 pair, one of them by knight's move. So it's the classic case of you don't need to know which one it sees. This one now becomes a naked single with exactly the same 6, 7 pair. This is now a 6, 7 pair. We're getting an awful lot of 7 possibilities in this cage now. Well, I think that's all of them. 4, 9, 5, 1, 7. Oh, that's very annoying. I still don't know what that is. No, but 9 can't be here. So 9 only has one possible place in the box. 1, 2, 6, 8. That can't be 4 or 7, so it's 3 or 5. This one? No, that's much less constrained. 1549. That could still be 8. So there's still possibilities there. Right, that 6-7 pair was useful. How about this 4-5-8 triple? They all see this cell, as do 9-6. Actually, 7 does. Wherever it is here, it's seeing that cell. But I still think it can be any of 1, 2, or 3, annoyingly. Actually, 3's... yeah, 3 is just possible if there was a 3 here. Right. Oh, 4 is looking at the top of the tree. How many obvious things? I know you always castigate me about obvious things, and they're only obvious if you are happening to look at them. But I really have been missing some things that I should have been happening to look at for some time here. So that is just the way it goes sometimes. We're doing blind solves, and we can be quite blind when we're doing that. Actually, that is a 9-8 pair. I can see that 9 and 9 can't be in any of those cells. And I can also see that 8 can't be in any of those cells. So we get a 9-8 pair. Is that useful? That makes this one 98165. Doesn't do much for it at all. 2, 3, 4, 7 all possible. That 9-8 pair see both of these. No, that doesn't matter at all. They were already seen by a 9 and an 8. One of these must be 6 now. That's interesting from the point of view that 6 is also confined to row 1 and 2 there. So one of these is 6. Doesn't fix anything. And we could have known that from what we've worked out in row 3 anyway. 1, 2, 6, 8. Wow, okay, I'm probably missing more obvious things by the second. 2, 3 pair there. They're seeing both of these cells. Which, well, this one can't be 2, 3, 8, 9, or 6. Doesn't resolve it. This is hard to finish. Well, again, it's hard to me, and that might be because I'm missing something fairly clear-cut. But I am carrying on missing it and being consistent if that's the case. Now, 1 in one of these 2 cells means 1 is not in one of those 2 cells, which means 1 must be in one of these 2. That means this is a 1, in fact, because that one can't be. Does that unblock anything? I bet it doesn't. No, not at all. 9, 1, 4, 9, 8, 6. Oh dear. Honestly, you think you see something. Now this can't be 1, 6, 2, 3, 8, 9. So we're down to 4, 5, and 7. Maybe I'll mark them in the hope that that tells me something, which it absolutely doesn't. It's useful as an ashtray on a motorbike. Right, 4, 5. They're a pair looking at this cell. 4, 5, 9, 1, 8, 6. 2, 3, or 7. Don't see why any of them are ruled out. 2 or 3 would be interesting because it would have to be the same as this. 5 has to be in one of these. Ah, that's quite interesting because 5 has to be in one of these. So where's the 5 in row 2? It's got to be in one of these 2 end cells. So I am narrowing things down up here in this apparently unuseful box. 8, 9, 1, 6, 5. But maybe that's run out of juice about there. Okay, where does 2 go in box 6? It goes, oh, good grief. No, it could still be here. Okay, I'm sorry. I thought something very obvious had decided this 8-2 a while ago, and maybe it has, but whatever it is, I still haven't seen it. They would be very useful to disambiguate. If this was 2, that would be 7, 3, 6, 8. This would be 8, 9, 6, 8. Let's become a 3, 5, 4, 7 pair. 5, 9, 6, 8. Then we'd have 1, 2, and 3 up here, and why not? 7. That's doing nothing in this box. How about the 8? That is ruling out all of those cells. Oh, that's lovely. Look at that. I wouldn't have looked at that for ages. Right, well, I haven't. 8 in this box is ruled out of all those yellow cells by this 8. It sees them all either straight or on the Knight's move. Oh, actually, there's that 8 too. So 8 is confined to these 2 cells, and therefore this one is resolved. 9, 8. Now, surely that helps. That 9 looks right down to the bottom. We get a 3 down there. Okay, that's not quite as helpful as I'm nearly going to say praying for. So 8's over there, and an X-wing with an 8 over here. Again, that's not quite finishing anything off. This is very clever by Joseph. I mean, I'm just not still finding traction. And I am getting very frustrated now. 9, 6, 3 can still be in any of those. Is 3 more confined up here than I'm realizing? It can't be in that because of those 3s. It can't be there because of that one. It's not enough to make any decisions. How about this 6, 7? Whatever's here must be here because it can't be there. Then it's got to be in one of these 2 cells. It also can't be there, so it's got to be in row 4 here, in one of those 2. It can still survive. If it's a 7, it would. If this is a 7, it has to be a 7 here. Yeah, I mean, that does put it in one of these 2, but I've got no problem with that. I don't see why it shouldn't be. Oh my word, I'm sorry you have to just watch me flailing around. I'm sure there is something that is absolutely spottable at this point. And I'm going to be kicking myself heartily if it is something that trivial. This 1, 3, or 7 as far as I can see. Is it worth trying to rule one of them out? Like 3 might well be impossible because it would put 3 here. No, I really thought I was onto something when I got this 8, 9 pair. Maybe I'm just not trying to use them enough. But 8's run out of juice immediately. Left with that X-wing on 8s. This 9 is actually the last one in the grid. So, well, once we got it, we put that last one in the grid. Did that 3 do more? No, it's ruled 3 out of there. But it can still be in any of these. This is making me unhappy now. 4, 7, see that. I'm just missing something. Oh, look. Both of those cells, a 6, 7 pair, see that cell. One of them's in the box and one of them's by a knight's move, so that can't be a 7. I mean, that is the sort of thing that happens in these puzzles, and I have to say, I do not regard it as easy to see, but it's been there for ages, and I've not been spotting it. So, who's the monkey? I think it's me. 4 and 7 as a pair there. This can't be a 7 anymore. So, 1 or 3 up here. Now, please don't let this peter out. Also got a 4-7 pair in the box. 8 is confined there. Don't know what that sound was. 1, 2, and 3. No, there could be an 8 at the top. Now, has this box got resolved? 9, 1, 3, 5, 4. Six is seeing that. 8. This can still be 2, 6, or 8, which is maddening. 6 is in that 2 by 2 twice. Oh, this can't be 3 anymore. And 2, 5, or 7 up here. Now, either 5 or 7 there would be very useful because it would fix either that cell or that cell. But they're all possible. To that 6, 7 pair looks at this cell as well. So that's 2, 3, or 4. Which gives us a 2, 3, 4, 7 quadruple in row 2. You are joking with me. That is rock hard. Is that really part of the solution path at this point? Well, and what does it give me? It gives me a 6 here. Right, I can finish the column with a 7. And look, that 7 sees both those cells. So in column 3, 7 there, 5 there, 2 there. 7 and 6 are resolved. This isn't a 6, it's a 2, 8 pair. So this is 3 or 4. Now that means 7 is in one of those cells and not here. Ah, look, the 5, yes, that's resolved our last cage. Wow, what a puzzle. I mean, I think we're on the home straight now. But that has been an absolutely epic journey. And as I said, it made me doubt myself quite badly. That's now a 1 because of that 3. That fixes that as a 3. That fixes the 3, 4 pair. 1 and 6 at the top, and surely the rest is a write-in. I want to believe it. I do believe it now. That's fixed 7, 4 there. 2, 8, and 3. Still to go here. 3 has to be there. Ooh, we're left with a 2, 8 deadly pattern. And I didn't think these were getting resolved by the knight's move. Oh, they are. Look, that 2 that we've just done. Wow, what a puzzle. Well done, Joseph. I mean, that was close to beating me. Look at that, 40-something minutes. Unbelievable. Well done. What a puzzle. I mean, I think a lot of people will be doing that quicker than me because they'll see their way through it. But if you really had to eventually find that quadruple in row 2, wow, that was not easy. Thanks very much for watching. Merry Christmas to you, and hope to see you soon. Bye for now.